Let's get into it. Okay, Don Lemon just posted not too long ago about the ruling from the federal judge. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Let's go.
So, as I reported to you earlier in the week, a judge was probably going to rule that the firing of probation employees was not legal, and the judge did rule in that direction. Judge blocks Trump administration mass firings of federal workers. A federal judge ruled that the terminations at several agencies, including the Department of Defense, were likely illegal. The judge ordered OPM to rescind its prior directives to agencies including the Department of Defense, the Park Service, the Bureau of Land Management, National Science Foundation, and others. This is what the judge said from the bench as he issued his ruling. He said, the Office of Personnel Management does not have any authority whatsoever under any statute in the history of the universe to hire and fire employees at another agency. They can hire and fire their own employees. We'll see if those employees will have to be brought back to work.
Furthermore, the judge states Congress has given the authority to hire and fire to the agencies themselves. The Department of Defense hires and fires their own people. Listen, because we know what we're up against, they probably will appeal or they just probably won't follow the order. But that goes to show you what I was telling you, and I'm not a lawyer, but I can read, and y'all need to. Because regrettably, a lot of times we don't look into something until it adversely impacts us. One of the things I used to tell my soldiers, and that was told to me, no one's going to care more about your career than you. So that's why every time I would go to a new duty station or as a civilian, go to another agency, or pulling down my SF-50, pulling down this, pulling down when I would go to a new agency, making sure when I'm reading my SF-50 that didn't say I needed to do a probationary period. You got to know your stuff. So when I came up against things, I had already read it. You understand me? I'd already read it. So we'll see what's going to happen. But again, this is something, if nothing else, I want to encourage each and every one of you, if you haven't already and you still have access to your documents, pull down all your documents. Go into the Social Security Administration, pull that report too, because they got their fingers in everything. And when it says Congress, see, that's what I told you. It's not about the RIF that's the problem. It's about how it's done. Because all those other presidents that people have been throwing up in my face trying to say, well, what about this and what about that? They all did it in accordance with the Congress, working in partnership with the Congress to ensure people got, due process, had advance notice so they could prepare. Because as I told you, and alive, even when you're talking about bargaining unit employees, even from people going from telework back into the office, that is negotiated with a union. You just can't unilaterally do that. You have to go, and in most cases, depending on the collective bargaining agreement, just to use that as an example, when you want to bring somebody back in off telework, you got to give them advance notice. And the advance notice could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months. But again, we know this individual is not he's, like he said, dictator on day one. He made it clear. And he's going by the Project 2025 playbook because, again, people are pledging loyalty to him. That was in some of the pillars. But here's another thing, too. I hope they get down to the bottom of it because I keep telling you, every time I think of an OPM email, it lets me know what that whistleblower said. They done hacked into the system, kicked out the people, and got their people in there. So when they send out an email, so it'll look professional. Stay tuned. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with ya.